I'm going to peel the onion a little more from where Geeta left on laying the technology foundation. Laying the technology foundation from a perspective of data and AI. Let me take a step backwards in terms of what are the kind of challenges clients, what are the kind of challenges all of you face when you deal with data. Diverse data patterns, multiple environments, multiple platforms, different formats, you have different operating systems that come in. This multi-dimensional predicament has become even more complex with a hybrid multi-cloud scenario coming in. You have on-premise, you have multiple hybrid clouds coming in. And what we've created for ourselves is a siloed environment that we're not able to go analyze, use data to our business benefits. So the key element here is how do I lay the technology foundation? How do I lay the foundation? We may start small, but how do I lay the foundation for data and AI for my organization for times to come? The approach we take, like Geeta alluded to, is an approach which caters to every step of the AI ladder, right from the collect stage, your elements of data virtualization, your elements of data quality, elements of data sufficiency. In fact, we've now started embarking into areas of synthetic data. If you have data sufficiency issues, how do we bring in synthetic data to help you complete the paradigm? The elements of organize, where you are really laying the foundation of your analytics backbone. How do I bring in elements of the entire ETL part, the data ingest part, data ingest happening on-premise, data ingest happening on the cloud on a very, very large scale. Like Geeta alluded to, we have an offering called Data Stage, which is one of the most popular offerings in this space that caters to some of the largest, right here out of India, some of the largest ingests in the world. The next aspect, which is one of the most critical aspects as well, is the aspect around the governance piece. How do I ensure, and especially with the data privacy bill around the corner, how do I ensure we have a policy that I can enforce across the organization? How do I have something that gives me lineage right from start to the end and help me drive and enforce the data policies and data governance within the organization? The next element that comes in is the data science element. Some of the evolutions that have happened around the data science elements are around auto AI. So here we have an example of a large conglomerate that has put its graduate engineering trainees, and Seema ma'am alluded to this, some new joinees working on data science. Some of the elements we've started working on is, this is a conglomerate which has about 100 graduate engineering trainees, and they have started experimenting with data. The whole story is about how do we lower the center of gravity and get more and more users. So this platform, it looks at the data, looks at the data patterns, has the ability to pick the right algorithms. Does the feature extraction, does the hyperparameter tuning converges on the top two algorithms, and gives you a starting point on how do I really, what are the areas. It's not meant to be a be-all end-all compared to the best of state data scientists that you have, but it gives you a starting point for you to start your areas of work on. The next part is around infuse. How do I infuse this and operationalize this in a very, very large way? Moving on to the next pillar, which is the automation pillar. Now this is a pillar that varies from, and like Geeta spoke about, we actually boast about there is no automation without integration, and which is where the integration pillar becomes an extremely critical pillar in the whole gamut of things in your automation journey. In fact, we are proud to power some of the largest banks. The whole fintech integration, the whole digital banking work that's happening across some of the largest banks in the country is powered by the IBM API lifecycle management. Of course, there are other elements of the enterprise service bus. The way we package this is with an offering called Cloud Pak for integration. Again, a cloud native offering that cuts across the entire layer. Let me quickly move on to the automation side, the digital business automation side. And here I'll go straight jump on to an insurance example. There are some insurance veterans right here. What we do here in the space is right from your lead to your policy issuance. How do I automate that entire journey? How do I have a complete straight-through processing which can run as high as 80% levels or 85–90% levels for some of the clients, which is nothing but an entire workflow that cuts across with a very powerful rules engine, what we call as operations decision management, that runs those rules. And in fact, the work that we've embarked on with clients is how do I push the needle on this straight-through processing from the current levels to a few percent points higher. The last but not the least is about how do I bring in efficiencies on my IT operations. And it is around APM, it is about turbonomics. In the turbonomics space, what we're doing is how do I, it's about application performance, committing application performance, and especially as you do this on the cloud, it means a significant saving. And we've done this for a few large clients on the hyperscalers and been able to demonstrate a very, very significant saving thereafter. So on that note, let me invite a guest, who better than Mr. Golok Simli, who's laid the technology foundation for one of the largest and greatest citizen service initiative, the 𝗲𝘂𝘁𝗵𝗵𝗏. It's indeed a pleasure and honor to have you on stage. Thank you, Golok-ji. Golok-ji is the Principal Advisor and Chief Technology Officer of Ministry of External Affairs. He's a gentleman who needs no introduction, but just to give you a perspective, he's been the foundation, he's laid the blueprint for one of the largest citizen initiatives in the world. An initiative which is set benchmarks not just from a country perspective, but globally. 80,000 plus customers on a daily basis, 100 million plus citizens serviced. It's a scale which has been unprecedented. So thank you, Golok-ji. Thank you for joining us here today.
No, at the outset, let me thank IBM for having here, Simli-ji, Siddhesh-ji, entire team. I feel really privileged to be part of this gathering and sharing whatever we are experiencing day to day, whatever we have learned so far, and where do we see forward.
Thank you. Golok-ji, you've led one of the most complex and largest citizen service initiatives, something that is not just talked about in India, but it's something that's talked about globally. Can you share with the audience here on the role technology has played in laying this foundation, especially around data, AI, automation?
No, Siddhesh, absolutely. I think, let me put this way, saying that I think wherever we are looking for a public service, common man at large, I think we all need to think forward, whether I am coming from a government side, you are coming from industry side, someone from academia, research side. The first and foremost thing is, can we cut the red tape for a average citizens in India? Can we do that? Right? The second biggest facts which comes to my mind is, if you see the larger global economy, the big economics across the globe, what are the two very important factors? The first factor is the demand, and the second factor is the democratic. So can we deal with such demand and on a democratic way? Right? That is the second factors come to my mind when we gather here and discuss about technology, discuss about process engineering, discuss about way forward. And the third factor is, Now, what is the growing phenomena we are observing? The mobility of the workplace and the mobility of the workforce. Now, if I keep all these three together in a basket, and then if I see the technology, what technology can do for us, or what we as CIO, CTO, technology leaders like you, if we think forward, I think things become easy for a common man, for a common citizens to see. Things become easy when you are adding to a larger part of the economy, which I am referring to. Things becomes also easy wherever I am, whatever I am, which place I am, it's like anywhere, anytime, 24/7 kind of a scenario. So that's how I put it, technology if we, in a larger purview if I see.
Wonderful. Golok-ji, this entailed the whole project, the whole Passport Seva project, entailed not only you working with the passport division, but it entailed you working with a lot of civic agencies, be it the post offices, be it the immigration agencies, the police stations. It was like really creating a digital ecosystem. I would like you to share your journey through this and how you would have.
No, absolutely, Siddhesh. I think that's what I started with, saying that when we are revamping the Passport Seva ecosystem at large, I'll say, I think we have 3-4 factors very well in mind, and that's why probably today, whatever it is not you and me is saying, but a common man is saying so. And the first factor was, as I said, can I deliver my services nearest to the citizens? The way he understands the language when they connect with a government ecosystem, the way they talk to me, from wherever they are, whichever devices they are talking to me. So that was the first principle, I think, when we are revamping, redesigning, overhauling the passport issuance system at large. The second factor was, you all might be thinking, saying that passport could be merely a travel document, or it kind of empowers you to travel. No, not at all. If you see passport, I am making you mobile. I am connecting you part of the global business at large. I am also making you part of the larger economy at large. So our way of approaching this entire revamp process or overhauling process is, if passport has that capability for a citizen of India, how do I deliver that passport within a stipulated time, with a transparent manner, with a accountable manner, and there is no intervention in between? Can I do a digital, kind of an end-to-end overhauling for that? That was the second factor in mind. The third factor, I think I should be very straight when I put it forward, saying that I think we have realized enough that government alone, probably these kind of a larger scale, larger impact kind of a program, we cannot deliver alone. And that's where probably I think Passport Seva is one of the best example, the kind of business model we could evolve, the kind of industry engagement we could evolve, and the turnaround I could do 180-degree. When I say 180-degree, it is no more a citizen would start following with a government system. Can I follow back the citizens? I think these were the three principles we started with when we thought of completely overhauling the passport issuance system, and I'm glad to know that whatever we thought, I think not 100% I will say, but at least 80 to 90% we have delivered. The last thing is, whenever there is a grievance, whether you or me as a citizens, or for the sake of any corner or any village, a citizen is approaching to a government system, is that the government system is responding, right? So whatever technology we think through, whatever platform we think through, we must think that that last man in a corner of a village, can I give the kind of a same seamless services what I am getting sitting here in Delhi, Mumbai or Chennai?
Beautiful.
So that's how.
Wonderful, yeah, wonderful. Golok-ji, one last question for you. What does the future entail from a Passport Seva perspective?
Future is very bright, future is very opportunistic. I think there are 3-4 things I am definitely looking as part of the next kind of a enhancing my customer experience or citizen experience. I think gone are the days when we are thinking something to do with post facto, right? Today we are thinking of a proactive. Why proactive? I am thinking of predictive, right? Can I really predict that no, the coming summer, or let's say coming summer vacation, how much is the workload hitting me at my south zone? Can I predict that? Can I also predict that how much manpower I have to mobilize? Can I also predict that how much infrastructure or let's say technology way I can augment, right? So that is the first thing we are now going forward will be definitely doing. The second factor is, it is no more, I always say that it is from data all the way traveling to a data center, data to compute, but it is other way now. It is compute to data. I mean, how can I deliver services nearest to my users the way they understand, the way they want to connect me? That is the second factor. The third factor is, I always say that when I'm dealing with data, when I'm dealing with customers, when I'm dealing with citizens, do I really have a data strategy, which you are telling me, Siddhesh, which you are kind of a briefing. Do you really have a data strategy? And when I'm talking about a data strategy, it is on 4 kind of a basket I put it. The first basket is the people. Whom are you talking to? Who are you? Or whom are you kind of accessing and authorizing? So how do you define the people basket in terms of defining your data strategy? Also in the form of people basket, I'll also say in terms of your personal data, in terms of your non-personal data, in terms of your fiduciary data, in terms of your public data, configurable data. So that is the people part. The second part is the execution model. What kind of execution model you have adapted? Whether it is a centralized model, is it a federated model, is it a PPP model, which probably we have adapted. And the third basket is the rules of engagement, the kind of compliances, laws, land of the law. You said, Siddhesh, the tomorrow data protection and privacy law coming into picture. So what kind of rules and rules of engagement you have developed yourself, and how far you are there when it comes to land of the law, whatever data protection available today, laws of the land. And the last bracket is definitely your tools and technology. The last thing, Siddhesh, I must say that when I am dealing with also data and privacy, 2 factors comes to my mind. The security has to be dealt with by design. It has to be intrinsic to each layer of the services I am talking for, each layer of the platform I am creating, each layer of the application code I am writing, right? Each layer of the access and authorization I am giving. So security has to be intrinsic to each of these components. The second part is the privacy. When I am talking about the privacy, privacy is not only about the principal owner of the data. Privacy is also attached to the custodian and the ministry like us who is collecting the personal data of the citizens. But going forward, we will all realize that, and even the data protection law coming into picture, privacy is also making the user of the data accountable. How do you make user of the data accountable? So that's how I put it.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is truly laying the technology foundation in a unpredictable world on how do I create a technology foundation that can create to, and cater to the changing world that we all are all into. Thank you, sir. It was indeed an honor and a privilege.
Saying that, no, I must give compliment also IBM. I think we are the first one. We started with your entity analytics solution way back in 2008-9, I'll say, in the government parlance. Coming forward, I think we'll be going with your power series. So we have a very pleasant experience as far as IBM as a solution provider.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So thank you.
I just want to end with one last phrase. I think this is truly an example of class for the mass, the best in the world for the masses. So on that note, thank you. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the MSP partner, TCS. Thank you, Lokesh sir. Thank you for having us as a part of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.